Yeah, fuck with y'all, but what's the word, man? What's going on to the people out there? Yeah. So currently, you know what I'm saying, we watching the fucking Planet X effects take place all all around the land. You feel me? All around the motherfucking land, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, shit getting real. Real as can be, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't for motherfucker to be scared. It's for you to do your research, right? Yesterday I was on here and I was talking about, you know what I'm saying? I was talking about, the reason that the motherfucker returned. You know what I'm saying? Not really the reason, but you know what I'm saying? I was talking about Hitler and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the reason that it has returned, right, is for this next Earth cycle, right? That's what we can call that shit. The next Earth cycle, right? We ain't gonna really call it, you know, the end of the world, even though that's what the fuck, it's considered to be. You know what I'm saying? But like I was explaining yesterday, they don't talk about other people surviving and shit in those times. You only hear about when his last event happened. You only hear about Noah and his family. You know what I'm saying? But that's not all what it's supposed to be. It's a lot of other people survive, man. A lot of shit really didn't make sense to me when they be talking about the Bible and all such and such lived, and you know he took his family on the boat, blah, they such and such. But how they repopulate the earth with all these different people? So when you go on to do your research, you find out. Go wash your hands. 1 second, I gotta wash this. Hands. Come here, I'll do it. Anyway, back to what I was saying, man. So the reason that this thing has returned for the second time, man, is because we're experiencing this so-called pole shift, right? I ain't talking about shift in dimensions and all that shit, which that could be taking place too with the mental. Like I was explaining, this is a mental thing. You have those that think on the third dimensional level, and you have those that think on the fifth dimensional level. You know what I'm saying? That's where that falls in place at. There's no the new Earth is literally a pole shift of a continental drifts and shit happening. The Earth's crust, some going under, some coming up. It's the same shit. This shit that happened thousands of times. Well, not thousands, but it done happened a couple of times already. From a scientific fact, that's why the scientists is crying and shit all on TV because they know, and they tell you, we got to like probably 2029 before what they talking about, Italy will be damn near gone. Y'all see the volcano over there? The whole they damn near all on a volcano. They whole landmass. You know what I'm saying? And that motherfucking it's erupting in chambers. It's starting to open up and shit, different places. So that's what they talking about. But that's having an effect on everything. Not only that, whatever's causing that is having an effect on everything, right? Whatever's causing it. We ain't gonna go into all this shit right here, right? Let me just let me just show y'all something, right? Y'all go into this part. Let me just show y'all something real quick. So, at this time of the great destruction, right? Now, let's see what the Apocrypha has to say about these times, right? Because we know they took a lot of this out of the the so-called Bible. They didn't want people to know that these things was there. So anyway, chapter 15. Now, when you hear these Caucasian people read this shit, it don't really fit what they're narrating, whatever the fuck they saying. All right, no disrespect to my Caucasian people, okay? European people, whatever y'all want to be called, no disrespect. But anyway, chapter 15. This is Second Ezra, right? He says, no, don't do that. Don't do that. He says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, right? The words of the prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true, right? That's what he say, right? So let's go see something real quick. I gotta go just see one thing so y'all can understand where I'm coming from, right? So when he says my people, everywhere in the Bible, when the Lord is saying my people or the Lord thy God of Israel, he's only talking about one people, okay? So we can get an understanding of what I'm trying to say here about this second Exodus, right? Okay, so he says, in all of the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all of the flowers thereof one lily, and of all of the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river, and of all the builded cities, thou hast hallowed Sion unto thyself. And of all the fowls of the air that are created, thou hast named thee one dove. One dove. And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. And among all the peoples, right, the multitudes of peoples, thou hast gotten thee one people, okay? One people. He only has one people. All right, and unto this people who thou lovest, thou hast gavest a law that is approved of all, right? So he only has one people. So when he says, speak to my people, you know what I'm saying? Blah, they skippy. He's only talking to one people. That's the first thing that we got to get understood. The whole world needs to first understand this, that the Bible is not dealing with the whole world. He's talking to one people. So when he say the Lord thy God of Israel, or the Lord your God, he's talking to these one people. He's not talking to the world, right? So we got to get that understood so we can understand what's taking place right now in this time. So when he says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my peoples the words of the prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true. He said, fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, right? He said, all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. He said, behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Now, you got to remember that part, okay? You got to remember that part. You got to remember how the Bible was written. Remember the Bible, which is precept upon precept, little here and a little there. You got to make it make sense. It all goes together. Now, the Lord's devastation of the earth. We know we're not dealing with the first time because the first time is already done. The second time is done with the Exodus. This is where, right? This is where this come in at, right? This is where this come in at. The Coburn Bible. For those of y'all that don't know what's taking place, man, all of these old scriptures and books and stuff, they all go together, man. Okay, the first 6 books of the Coburn Bible are all remains of a 36-year-old anthology penned by Egyptian academics and scribes after the Hebrew Exodus inspired the regional search for the one true God of Abraham. Features detailed accounts of how the 10 plagues of the Exodus. Now, to it. Section, you got Isaiah, right? Chapter 24. The Lord's devastation of the earth. When would this take place, right? That's where you come. That's where this come in. A little here and a little there. We all know that the first time has already taken place. We know this. All right. So when would this second time take place? You have to go, like I always tell y'all, don't forget, go into the book of Jeremiah, man. Jeremiah was given instructions about his time. Remember, Jeremiah was the prophet strictly against the Gentile nations. Don't forget the word of the Lord which came to Jeremiah, the prophet against the Gentile nations. Don't forget that, right? So let's go into the book of Jeremiah and see what Jeremiah has to say. Chapter 7. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer, right? The destroyer, don't forget this word, of the Gentiles is on his way. And they say he is gone forth from his place to make thy land, right? Remember what the Most High said, because you got to remember all this is done through natural disaster. All these natural disasters occurring and shit, right? So don't forget this. He said, the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without inhabitants. So don't forget that part, right? So we go into a little bit deeper into Jeremiah, what he has to say about this time. When would this take place, right? We know about the first Exodus, right? We also know about the earth being destroyed and recreated on the second wheel creation, right? So we got to go and see what Jeremiah has to say. So Jeremiah, right? This is chapter 25, I believe, verse 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. So we know when dealing with this time, just watch. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord has controversy with the nations. Okay? So the Lord is in. Go in there and watch TV. Give me these keys. Go with him. Go in there. Go. So we know that the Most High is dealing with these nations, right? They want you to believe that it's a war with the devil and the no, the Lord is the Most High is dealing with the nations at this time, and he's literally dealing with the nations, right? We all know this. This is the second time, okay? This is that second time, right here, in Genesis, right? Because the first time, you got to remember the first captivity that was in Egypt was about, I think it was 430 years. So we know that this one right here is not that. All right, it was 430 years, people, something like that. It wasn't 400 years. You gave strictly regular instructions. Regular instructions. I mean, regular. My bad. Kind of lost. Chapter 5. Okay. Right book. Oh no, I think it was 50. Yeah. Okay, 15. So we know, right, that he's dealing with these one people. And he goes in and says, and when the sun was, okay, go get something to drink. Why are you telling me? Go, you see me doing something, man. Go play or something. You see me doing something. No, get some water. That's what you do. Drink some water, man. Okay. He say, and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, horror, a great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, know that surely that thy seed should be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. Okay? So this is where the dealing with the nations come in at. When he said, and also that nation who they shall serve, I will judge. And afterward, they shall come out with great substance, right? So this is how we know, that's why we know why the Lord has controversy with the nations, okay? So he says, a noise shall come even to the end of the earth, so the Lord has controversy with the nations. Whatever, where we go. With the nations. He will plead with all flesh, and he will give them that is wicked over to the sword, said the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind. This great whirlwind, remember the whirlwind, shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of the day shall be at and the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even unto the other. Right? Right? So what is this great whirlwind? Right? So this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Whatever he was talking about then has come back now, here in our time, right? That's why you hear how you say a noise shall come, even to the ends of the earth. For the Lord has controversy with the nations. That noise, that loud trumpeting noise that everybody hearing all around the world, that's the noise that they talking about. We gonna go a little bit deeper into that once I find it. So somewhere around here, right? This, where is it? See, man, we got a lot going on here right now. Going on. Okay, here we go, right here. Hey, be quiet. Right? So, this great whirlwind that shall be coast, right? This is the same whirlwind. This great whirlwind is happening now. That's why the skies is turning red. So we gonna go into it about the great whirlwind that was raised up from the coast of the earth. And this is what is taking place now in our time. But we gonna go a little bit deeper. Right? I just need y'all to understand what is happening. This object that has come up on the coast of it came up from that way, off the east. That's why you got China and all them different places, they getting the worst of it right now. They receiving the worst of shit because of it came up on that side. So we got manuscript chapter 6, verse 31. So remember the Lord said he was going to bring devastation on the land. Remember? Don't forget it. Devastation. See, the Lord is going to lay waste the earth. Don't forget that. And devastate it, right? Remember that? He's going to lay waste the earth. Before he lay waste the earth, a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord has controversy with the nations. We already know that the Lord is into it with the nations. But before we go any deeper, don't forget why he's into it with the nations. Because of this 400 years of captivity. Also, that nation, who they shall serve, I will judge. Right? So he's judging this nation, right? Don't forget this part. Right? Hold on. So he's judging this nation at this time. It is a certain judgment taking place, but a lot of people gonna get caught up in this. Now watch this, right? So how do we know when this judgment will come, right? I know a lot of y'all like, how the fuck will we know that this that time? Just pay attention. So first we got the noise coming from the ends of the earth, and the lion has come up from his thicket because the destroyer of the Gentiles has returned, which is the same destroyer. I'm gonna show y'all. Don't worry, I'm gonna show y'all, right? So let's go on to this, right? Don't forget, that's Jeremiah, who? The prophet against the Gentiles. Now, the word of the Lord which came to who? Jeremiah, from the Lord saying, thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel. Remember, he only got one people. Don't forget that. Don't forget that now. When he's speaking, I want y'all to always remember this. Because when he says these type of things, it never made sense then, but it's going to make all the sense now. When he always say, the Lord your God, Israel, he's only talking to one people. These people been lying to us the whole time. And among all the multitudes of the peoples, thou hast gotten thee one people. Just one people. And unto this people, who thou lovest, thou hast gavest a law that is approved of all. All right? Don't forget that. He only got one people. So when he says, the word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel, saying, write these words that I have spoken unto thee in the book. For what? He said, for lo, the days come, said the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, said the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these were the words that these are the words that the Lord has spoken concerning Israel and Judah. Right? So this is the second time after they had went into captivity. When? Don't forget. Right? Don't forget. I need y'all people to understand and please follow along. Right? Don't forget the second time. The second time, right here. Right? Right here. Don't forget. This is how we know. When you open these Bibles, you can put this together. That's why he said precept upon precept, little here and a little there. This is how you read this stuff, man. This is how you read this stuff. Don't forget, right here. Remember what he said? Hold on. Let's see. Where he go? You see what he said? And the Lord will scatter you among all peoples from one end of the earth, even until the other. And there you shall serve other gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. And among these nations you shall have basically no rest. Where we going? Where we going? Where we going? What he say? He say, what he, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, what he say? Where was we at? 1 second, 1 second. Just one more. I need to go somewhere. I need to show y'all that he talking about this time. This is the time that he talking about. Because remember, he told Abraham that he was going, his people was going to go into captivity. And he's telling these people why they will go into captivity. Here we go. Here we go right here. The Lord will bring you and your king who set over you to a nation that neither you nor your fathers have known, and there you shall serve other gods of wood and stone, and you shall become a horror, a proverb, and a byword among all the peoples for the what? What do you say? Where the Lord will lead you, right? So we know that he's talking about this time when he told Abraham, right, that his people was going to go into captivity, right, for 400 years. Then he told Jeremiah. What did he tell Jeremiah? He told Jeremiah when they was going to be let loose. What did he say? He said, for the Lord, he said, for the day comes, said the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, said the Lord, and I will cause them to return. Remember, he has scattered them from one end of the earth even into the other. And there you shall serve other gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. Okay, now he's keeping his promise to bring these people back. Now watch. He said, the days come, said the Lord, that I will bring again. Again, this is because it happened the first time when he told Abraham, remember, up in here, remember? This is again. He said, I will bring again. What did he say? I will bring again the captivity of these people. This is the first time. The Lord will bring you and your king who set over you to a nation that neither you nor your fathers have known. And there you should serve other gods of wood and stone. Right? So now he's keeping his promise to bring these people back. Now watch this. Right? He said, so they was going to return to the land that he had gave their fathers, and they should possess it. But how would this take place? And these were the words that the Lord has spoken concerning Israel and Judah. Then he goes on to tell them about the time that is coming. Okay, he said, therefore, because destruction is coming upon the land, the same way it came upon the land the first time that they was not when they was taken by bondage, but when the Exodus, when they was freed from bondage. It was all natural disaster that freed them, which was the Exodus, which caused the flood and caused all the earthquakes and mountains to move and shit. It was the same shit. It was the same shit that's happening right now. This thing, remember how he said the destroyer, remember? Remember the destroyer? Hold on. Right? Remember what they said, right? Hold on. Matter of fact, let's go into this one. Let's go into this one. What they say? Let's see. It's everywhere, right? It's everywhere. You just gotta know where it's at. All of this happened. And it's happening now. Okay? So all of this happened then. Here it goes. Right here. Right here. The doom shape called the what? The destroyer. Where was called the destroyer at? In Egypt. Right? Where was the second Exodus? In the first Exodus. In Egypt. He said the doom shape called the destroyer in Egypt was seen in all the lands thereabout. In color, it was bright and fiery. In appearance, it was changing and unstable. It twisted itself like a coil, like water bubbling into a pool from an underground supply. And all of the men agree it was the most fearsome sight. It was not a great comet, so we know that this dealing with the constellations, y'all. Dealing with the sun, the moon, extra stars and shit. But they letting you know that it was destruction coming upon the land. He said it was not a great comet or a lucent star, being more like a fiery body of flame. Okay? So then they go on to tell you where it's at. Right? It's two suns in the sky right now. But y'all see the red sky? Y'all see the red sky starting to appear? All the red skies and shit? Pay attention. Its movements on high were slow, and below it swirled in a manner of smoke and remained where, y'all? Close to the sun, whose face it hid. They say its face, they said close to the sun, whose face it hid. There was a bloody redness about it, which changed as it passed along its course. Now, y'all don't see the sky? I mean, hold on, though. The red sky is gonna be spotted everywhere. This thing is close. It's here. That's why you got all the earthquakes going off. That's why the biggest sign of this thing is the earthquakes and the sun turning red and shit like that. All the different alignments. All of this it's the same thing that took place back then. It is the same exact thing that took place back then. And you know what? During that time, right? During that time, guess who they was dealing with? The fucking the same people, the slaves, the so-called Hebrew Israelite slaves they was dealing with. And now this thing has come back. So when you hear people talking about the Planet X system and all of that, it's dealing with the 400 years that would have made, if this thing is true, that would have made 2019, because 1619, so they say, is the first time the slave ship sailed the Atlantic. So 400 years would have been 2019 years exactly. So it only make right for this thing to be back to cause what? All of this destruction. And then guess what the Most High said? He said, therefore fear thou not, O servant Jacob, said the Lord. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, in thy seed from the land of their captivity. Remember he told them that they was going to be scattered in a whole other land, right? He said, and Jacob shall return, it shall be at rest, it shall be, yeah. Okay, I got you. Give me that. I'm gonna come back. He said, therefore fear thou not, O servant Jacob, said the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, in thy seed from the land of their captivity. Right? And then he say, and Jacob shall return and shall be at rest and shall be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, said the Lord, to save thee, though I make a fool in all the nations, whether I have scattered thee. Remember he told Abraham? Remember what he told him? What did he tell Abraham? This is what they don't like to talk about, man. They not talking about, they talk about everything. They talk about the fake rapture and all this rapture. Ain't none of that. Listen, man, y'all better get hip, because people, these nations gonna be destroyed. This was a promise. He literally told Abraham. What did he tell him? He said, and also that nation who they shall serve, I will judge. Okay, judgment time. Judgment time, right? He said, for I am with thee, said the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee. Yet I will not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure. So a lot of us is out of here. He didn't say we wasn't gone. He said he wasn't going to put an end to us. But a lot of us, he said he going to correct us in measure, which means a lot of us is messed up. A lot of us is messed up. That's crazy. That a lot of these people don't even know that. They run around, I'm a Hebrew Israelite and all this and that. Don't even know, man. A lot of y'all is out of here. And I ain't talking about just death, because death ain't, you know, you coming back. But I'm saying, like, a lot of y'all gonna have to go in order to establish this new thing that's taking place. That's why he say, I will correct. You see, he say that he gonna put an end to those people so they won't be back. Those people won't be back wherever he scattered these people to. And if you notice, when you go into it, what he say? What he say? Hold on. Let's see. You know, when you go into it, you notice what he say, right? Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. What he say? So he sees you. What he say? And the Lord will scatter you among all the peoples from one end of the earth, right? From one end of the earth to the other. And there you shall serve other gods, a wooden stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. And that's Jesus Christ, man. Believe that or not. That's the biggest trick the devil ever pulled off, was got the world to believe that the devil was God. Straight up. Now, he go in further to tell you, therefore, fear thou not, O servant Jacob, right? Because this time is this so-called pole shift. What are you talking about? What are you telling you not to fear? Right? Not God coming back, but the destruction of the earth. The Lord's destruction of the earth. He said, see the Lord. And how we know that? That's why I tell y'all, man, don't get every Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because it literally gives you instructions on how to read this stuff. Precept upon precept, little here and a little there, right? Now, when you're talking to his people, you're talking to these folks when he say, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of the prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true. He said, fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. He said, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. He said, behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. This is what they not telling y'all. Y'all think God coming back, sky finna crack open, horse in the carriage and all that bull crap? No, that's not real. That's not in here. But this is, right? So he says, for the wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. How? Man marrying man, women marrying women, all that shit. Lustful, it ain't even no love no more out here. Murder at an all-time high. You see what they say? For the wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Who hurtful works? He said, therefore, said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more in touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves. He said, behold, the innocent, right? Because now it's payback. Remember what he told Abraham, right? Y'all remember what he told Abraham? That in those nations that they serve, I shall judge. Now what he say? Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood cry unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Now whose is these innocent souls and the just that's complaining continually? Get them back, Lord. Pay them back for what they done. Who is it? Because he's talking to a nation. He's talking to people. This is not a worldly thing. This is strictly it's instructions in this book, man, that people ain't getting. Y'all ain't getting this shit. Y'all thinking this is just a worldly thing. He's talking to the world. No, he's not. He said, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people. Remember, he only got one people among all the multitudes of people. Thou hast gotten thee one people. And unto that one people, thou hast gave a law. What is the law? That is approved of all. That's why all these, he only made, when he went and made that commitment with them people, right? He only made that commitment, this commitment right here. He only made this with one people. This wasn't with the world. He was talking with his people. And if you should faithfully obey the voice of the Lord your God, and being carefully and commanding all his commands that I command you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. Now, if he was talking about the whole world, how could he set these one people above the whole world? Make some sense of that shit. He's talking to one people. But guess what? No one's reading it right. Y'all not reading it right. The theologists ain't reading it right. The motherfuckers in college ain't reading it right. The church ain't reading it right. The pastor ain't reading it right. All of you are lost souls, man. This shit is sad because it's right in your... How could you be reading something? It's right in your face. It's literally telling you he's talking to one people. In here, this ain't about the devil. Motherfucker ain't talking about... You barely hear about Satan. He's talking about paying revenge these people, paying these people back and blase, such and such. It ain't what you've been told, man. The whole world thinking, oh, the sky finna crack open, a horse in the carriage coming, and Jesus coming back, God, all this and that. No, that shit ain't in here, man. It's a fairy tale. They want y'all to believe that, but that's not in here. But anyway, he said, and if you will faithfully obey the voice of God and being careful to do all his commandments that I command you today, the Lord God will set you up high. He said, high above all the nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you, and if you obey the voice of the Lord your God. So he ain't talking about the world. But then he go on and tell them, if they don't, he tell them, but if you do not obey the voice of the Lord your God, be careful to do all his commandments and statutes that I command you today, then all of these curses shall come upon you